Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Fox Ridge Philately. This is episode 27, I think, and it is June 28th, Friday, June 28th. Beautiful sunny day outside today. Temperatures in the low 20s here on the east coast of Canada. Here's the backyard outside my office. So, yeah, pretty nice out there. I'm picking away at some stamps here right now. There was a lady in a nearby town that had gotten a hold of me. She had my name through somebody else, and a typical call that sometimes collectors might get, where she comes across a collection of stamps that she doesn't know what to do with or how to find a home for them. This was from her husband. She didn't even know he had this stuff. There's a kind of a carton or a box over there that it came in, and a lot of it doesn't really interest me, so I told her I'll probably, if I can hang on to it till the fall, I'll take it perhaps to a club auction and just auction it off. There's not as much in there as it looks like, but this one I thought looked like fun to poke through. So it's a worldwide album, so I thought I'd just give you a flip through of what this is and see if there's something that's of interest in here for myself as well. And I haven't gone through a worldwide album in quite some time. And no, there's no value. Once again, that's not why I collect. There's very little value, I should say, as I did a quick flip through. But I collect for the fun of it, right? And I think that's what we all should do. One of the other things that was in that, which is kind of interesting to me, is this looks like one of those packages you used to buy in local stores, department stores and whatnot. It's all sealed up. And who knows where this one came from, but it's British local issues, 50 different stamps, British local issues. Maybe you refer to them as Cinderellas. But I'll probably crack this open at some point and take a look at them. I did just pick up recently from a gentleman some Cinderella's local issues of Lundy and what's the other one? Herm Island or Herman Island? Gosh, I'd have to look it up now. Down in the Channel Islands area too. So this will be just fun to kind of walk myself through some of these. And then I hadn't even heard of Devar Island. I've got to Google map that. Calf of Man is a small island off of the tip of Isle of Man. I do know that one. And then there's the worldwide album, and it seems to be in alphabetical order. She said she didn't even know that her husband had this, and they'd been married for 40 years. It's just tucked away downstairs in the basement, I think. And she thought there might be more in the South American region than elsewhere. So it doesn't really seem to be the case. I mean, yeah, there certainly are some South American stamps in here, but there's a good smattering from around the world, at least in this album. There are some Venezuela ones I noticed in the back under the V's that appear to be never hinged. So I think they did live for a time. Not her, might be in her husband's previous life, but he did live for a time in Venezuela. And Austria is still in the A's here. So I'm not going to go through every page because there's lots here to look at. I'm just kind of flipping through Bechuanaland, which became, oh gosh, that was in southern Africa. Bechuanaland. I'll have to look it up again, and you can correct me. Some of you probably will. Oh, Botswana? No, that was Basutoland, I think. Bechuanaland, maybe that was Zimbabwe. Belgian Congo. I do like Belgian Congo. So I will take a closer look at these and see what ones perhaps I can add to my collection. The history of the Congo and the Belgian Congo is what really has grabbed my attention in the past. A pretty horrific history, some of you likely are aware of. And those darn Belgians and King Leopold II. Yeah, he pulled some pretty awful stunts down there in the Congo. These are Belgium. Let's take a little quicker flip through into Bermuda. Bolivia. And some of these have maps on them as well. And you may know that I have a running collection of maps on stamps or Carta Philately. And I've continued just to put them in a stock book. I haven't done anything with them. I haven't really organized them or cataloged them at all. And there are a lot of stamps that have maps on them. So I haven't been doing it religiously or in any kind of particular fashion, other than when I see a stamp with a map on it, I set it aside and put it in that stock book. So that's on the someday list. Canada, and of course Canada's my home country, and I do have a Canadian collection in Davo albums, but I don't actively collect Canada. These were in there as well in that larger box. There were a handful of sheets like this, and these are a nickel a piece, so they're not worth a great deal. But I set these ones aside. This one due to the meteorological map on it, and these because of the history piece. Sir Wilfrid Grenfell. And then this has to do, is this the London Conference? Yeah, the London Conference leading up to Confederation of Canada. So anything along those lines is potential interest for me. So I'll just leave those in there for now. China, once again, jumping ahead. Colombia, I want to see Colombia spelled correctly. I always check for that, C-O-L-O. It's not Colombia, it's Colombia. Looks like some nice stuff here. Cook Islands. I recently had a interest or fascination with, sort of zoom out a little bit there, with James Cook. And I've read a couple of books on James Cook and been setting Cook stamps aside as well. Cuba. Another country with interesting history and stories to tell. Skip on ahead. Curacao, part of the ABC countries. Aruba. Oh gosh, what's the B? And then Curacao. Oh, I have a little brain fart on the B right now. Those are nice. It's a nice set. And there are maps there, so I could add those to my Carta Philatelic collection. Denmark. I'll have more to say about Denmark, I'm sure, in a couple of months' time. I'll just leave it at that. Just give you a bit of a hint. Dominican Republic. Egypt. Yeah, that's definitely on the someday list to travel to. Acquaintances of mine, acquaintance, are doing a trip to Egypt, maybe in the fall or perhaps next year, I can't remember. So quite curious to hear how that trip goes for them. And Great Britain, well, it says England here. UK, Great Britain, and England are slightly different. The United Kingdom includes England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Great Britain does not include Northern Ireland, and of course England is just England. Fiji, these certainly appear to be unused. I'm going to guess they're mint never hinged, but we shall see later on. Finland. And France. France has really nice engraved stamps. French Equatorial. Germany. Go a little quicker here. Greece. A friend of mine has been to Greece several times. Loves the land of the Greeks. Grenada. Guatemala. An area of the world, Central America, and South America to an extent for sure too, that I'd like to learn more about This Guatemala certainly being part of Central America. Adding it to the travel list. Hungary. Now, last fall, I was briefly in Hungary. When we started our river cruise in the Danube, we started that in Budapest. And I'd like to spend more time in there. In that whole area, probably talked about this briefly before, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and you could throw Austria and Croatia, etc. in there. History is very fascinating, but very confusing. There's a lot to it. And I've done some reading on it, but it's really hard to keep straight. Iceland, probably a favorite place I've traveled to so far, is Iceland. Mind-blowing place. Italy, Ireland. Ireland's also a beautiful country. A couple of covers here from Jamaica. Latvia. Yeah, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Wouldn't that be a fun place to go to and travel to? To me, it's all about culture, history, geography. Netherlands. My wife, who, if you know my story at all, I know that you know that she passed away about 2.5 years ago. Was half Dutch. She was born in Canada, but her father was born in the Netherlands. And as many from the Netherlands would say, he said he's born in Holland. They always refer to it as Holland, even though Holland is a province within the Netherlands. I think he may have been from the province of Holland, near the city of Breda, kind of in the southeast, if my geography is correct. I know he said he lived very near the Belgian border, literally just a few kilometers from the border. And as a boy, he remembers the stories around World War II and the Germans, and having Germans even sitting at their kitchen table. And his father used to regale him with some of the stories, because he was just a young boy at the time. My father-in-law was, that is. Skipping ahead a little bit, Netherlands, East Indies, New Zealand. My partner now, Suzanne, has been to New Zealand, I believe twice, if memory serves correctly. She loves New Zealand. And I would love to get there someday. There's some, sorry about the focus here, folks. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Some nice lighthouse stamps. Nicaragua, back into Central America. Panama. Philippines, a couple of blank spots. Romania, yeah. Really loved our time in Romania. We spent 4 days there when we finished up our river cruise. It's Russia here. Romania again, fascinating history. Lots to learn there. Wonderful country, wonderful people. Underappreciated, I think, and I don't want to say untouched, that's not the word, but perhaps not even undeveloped, but slightly underappreciated as far as tourism goes. Of course, it was part of the Eastern Bloc countries prior to the collapse of communism. And it's taken them some time to sort themselves out, as it would for any country in that region, but they're doing quite a nice job there. And your dollar goes quite a long ways there. Canadian dollar does, so certainly that mean the US dollar does even more. Nice maps on stamps there. Spain. St. Vincent. Strait settlements. Sweden. Another place perhaps you'll hear a little bit more about from me in a couple months' time. More hints. Kenya, Uganda, and Tanganyika. I've always liked this stamp here. Why am I not focusing well? Try to zoom in, but it just it's not focusing. So unfortunately, I have to show you the stamps from a distance a bit. Trinidad, Tobago, Turkey, Turks and Caicos. Was hoping to get there one day in my previous life, but that never came to fruition. A friend of ours have property in Turks and Caicos, United States. No blackjack here. I already looked. So if you're wondering, there's a blackjack. The pricey Andrew Jackson stamp, not there. Common stamps, nice stamps, but common stamps. Lots of U.S. blocks here. And U.S. has a lot of nice issues early on too. Vatican, I haven't really been into the Vatican City stamps. I know some people collect smaller countries, and Vatican, well, it wasn't any smaller than that really, so that would be one of them. And then Venezuela here. So sometimes a world stamp album like this, certainly for me, I find just fun. Right now I'm just kind of giving you a sense of what is in here, Virgin Islands, and then I'll go through it. There's a nice little block from Venezuela. As time permits, you continue on, and there's some I think that appear to be mint never hinged from Venezuela. There's a number of Venezuela pages in here. Cool. Would love to have a South American collection better organized at some point. So there you have it. The World Stamp Album. They are fun. Hope you folks are enjoying your stamps and using your time well. Take good care.